pay attention to what companies like Google and Facebook and Amazon and whoever their ISP is, whoever's providing them with internet connectivity, all of the above will have privacy policies in place. They'll have user agreements. With those, more often than not, you're in pretty good hands if you're just using them to enable what you do. It's for the companies that have invested quite a bit in terms of marketing automation, CRM systems, any other data capture where they're storing the data on premise or in the cloud. And to answer the first way you pose that question, Mike, I don't think anybody is really prepared. I don't think there's anyone out there right now who can look each other in the eye and say, 100% we're ready for whatever law is passed. It's just not possible to do that right now because the laws change. The precedent as they get tied up in the courts and challenged will change. But I don't think anyone's going to be really 100% there yet. Now, you're going to ask me other questions on what can you do. So we'll talk about that later. But the short answer is nobody's ready yet.
Gotcha. Well, let's dive into it. I mean, that was the natural kind of question on the tip of my tongue is, well, what can I start doing? What are reasonable, practical steps that marketers or, the stakeholders that care about this stuff, what should they be doing? Or at the bare minimum, you had mentioned a privacy policy. What else?
Yeah, I mean, at the bare minimum is the privacy policy. I'll say three things, right? The other one is a consent management platform. With GDPR, we've started operating in this world where every website we visited would have a little banner that came up and says, do you want to accept the cookies or not? Recently, you've probably seen a lot of these banners that say, which cookies will you allow? And it allows you to go through an extra step of, is it the performance? Is it the necessary cookie? Is it the tracking cookie? Is it whatever else? And a consent management platform allows you to manage that and monitor the integrity of all the systems you're using, at least on your website, And I'll tell you two of them. One is Asano, OSANO, asano.com. And the other one is OneTrust. Those are two of the most popular that are out there on the market right now. And each of them portend to be privacy in a box. They don't do everything, but they, at least in terms of your website, they make sure that you're checking the boxes and you're giving the consumer fair warning and fair notice that you're processing data and you're using it. Lastly is, in we're answering that bare minimum question that you just gave me, Mike, is allowing anyone in the organization who's on the front line of customer-facing operations. And this means direct mail, and this means the call center or the contact center, whoever's handling customer service. It certainly means marketing, and it certainly means IT if we want to, if that exists, even if it's a third party. It also includes agencies, because agencies, more often than not, are going to be storing data on your customers. Just document it. All you need to do, don't worry about integration right this second. That's something you're going to have to do in the future. But right now, the first step is just know where it all is, know where the data is. And with that, try to build a little literacy between all parties on how to talk about data and how to ready for that moment on what else you can do to shore up data governance. We'll talk about that in a little bit, but that first step is just about knowing what's your current state and where does the data live.